What's the crack? Welcome to the Irish Voice Podcast in what is going to be an exciting week. I've been looking forward to this for a few days. So, the Amorim Out brigade, it has come to a final conclusion. We are going to have three topics for you tonight. We're going to have our first topic, which is Ruben Amorim. What has been, and why I'm so glad it's over. And then we're going to have a look at our next games, and then maybe a wee chat about who the next manager of Manchester United should be. So, straight into it. As a fence sitter and a firm Amorim in person, how do you feel about the news?
Go ahead, Kieran.
Me?
Yeah.
I kind of seen it coming. I think he kind of made a rod for his own back at the end. He didn't. I don't think the 14 months that he had at the club that he didn't get enough results, or he made too many mistakes to kind of set from a point of strength where to go for the board, or for the people he name dropped in the technical director or the scouts. You do your job and I'll do mine, etc. And I think he just kind of like fuck you, you're out the door. He didn't kind of help himself in that respect, but not surprising. We all know what happened to Ragnick the time he spoke out. We've seen it before, and yeah, if it had been better results, I was just kind of hopeful it would have stuck a bit long, maybe a bit longer. We all said plenty of times throughout this season that give him one full season, give him maybe another window or two, sick of the same cycle and all the rest. But you have to move on. That is what it is.
What did you see in Ruben Amorim that would make you give him that longer period? So, like you alluded to it there, you would have given him more time. What about Ruben Amorim would make you give him more time?
We all know how I think he spoke very well. I think he had the right attitude to be a Manchester United manager. I think he didn't take any shade from the players. I think that a lot of times where we've seen a lot of players were in the dressing room and bad attitude and not running and not working, playing for the badge and different things like that. And I would give him that, and he did get rid of a lot of the dead roots, get rid of the players out of the club that were causing maybe the unrest in the dressing room, or he wouldn't put up with it. I'll give him that. That's my opinion. And and for all I know, the results, a lot of results didn't go our way. Could have turned a lot more draws into wins. But from an attacking display, and he was invested in the attack, obviously in the summer, that the attacking outputs, albeit apart from the most important bit, the goals, they weren't converted. It was showing a lot of promise, and we've scored a lot more goals at this stage than last season, and we're in a higher position than last season. So and then the AFCON came at a bad time, injuries as well, injuries are a bit expected. They're can't be much of an excuse for some of the performances that were put in, but I just think we're sitting a couple of points off fourth. Get a few more transfers in the door, a bit more positivity, players coming back from AFCON. You don't know where we could have ended up at the end of the season, and then does he get the back end in the summer with the Andersons and the Balebas of the world that are obviously top targets for Amorim and the club. But that's just the way but at the same time, I'm not surprised, because it is some of his tactical things at times, substitutions, in-game play. How me turn my hair out, the West Ham game, the Grimsby game. It's just not good enough.
Okay, so there was a lot there, but the key points I picked up on were the converted chances. Okay, you think that led to not getting points. You mentioned about having to change attitudes of the team and attitudes being wrong.
There's a lot wrong with the team, I think, top to bottom. I think
you said about him getting back and stuff in the summer. That maybe if he had stayed and he had got those players in. Okay, so we'll bank that for the minute. Mum, do you have anything to add to that as a fence sitter / I seen your post on Instagram and you said you would have given him more time. So on top of the points that Kieran's made, why?
I think primarily I wanted to see a manager come in and a proper rebuild. A manager given time. Now, they knew when they were going in for Ruben Amorim that his style of play, his system. And I thought that's what, and there's players that he brought in to play his system. Now you're going to have another manager coming in and it's going to play another system.
To play his system. Patrick Dorgu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cunha and Buemo can play.
They were two wingers. They were two wingers who were brought in the system. Benjamin Sesko's a striker. Benjamin Sesko could play in the Watford system in the Championship. He's a striker.
Right, point there. No, I just think that's what, I agree with most of what Kieran said. It is...
It's frustration.
It is a results-based business, at the end of the day. And what the club came out and said, well, I don't know whether the club or pundits have come out and said, the progress... The club couldn't see that much progress in his tenure. So I think they pulled the plug and said, that, well, we're not spending another big budget in the summer for a man who's not going to achieve what we want him to achieve.
Yeah. So
I think I would have liked to have seen him given more time, but I understand, yes, and I am a fence sitter in it, but I thought it was the start of something big.
Did you? So there's what I'm trying to hit at, right? Why give him more time? What did you see in this Ruben Amorim era, right? Football-wise, off the pitch-wise, what did you see, either of you, that would lead to you give him more time? And take away from the fact that I think the two of you would give him more time simply because of what I sent into our group chat earlier, that it's simply changing the manager that you just don't like, right? Give me a tangible point about Manchester United's form, football, anything under Ruben Amorim's reign that would make me believe that this man should have been given time.
No, well, I kind of alluded to it in the few things that I said there, like the attitude and the fight and the bite that's been so much lacking out of Manchester United this last number of years, and the attacking output as well has been more impressive.
They fought under Ten Hag here. They won the FA Cup. They fought tooth and nail with Man City, and they fought under Ten Hag. They fought in that Liverpool game that we all watched in St Patrick's Day. It's not a lack of fight. It's in Manchester, and it's a lack of consistency. And to that, Ruben Amorim was less consistent than Erik Ten Hag, and that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
No results wise, but I'm just telling you.
But you not even think on the eye test. Like when I look at Ruben Amorim's football, and I remember watching Erik Ten Hag's football, it was equally as shit. It was equally as poor to watch. I don't remember the last Ruben Amorim game, right, in my memory, and I'm not trying to be flippant here, that I came away and thought, God, that was really exciting. Bournemouth, which was a shit show, which was a tale of two halves. It was 4 brilliant goals from United and some of the worst midfield and defensive play I've seen since Ferguson left.
Yeah, there's been a lot of throughout for the last couple of years because we don't have the quality in the squad.
So where would you say the quality was lacking then?
Just we've said countless times, midfield. But I think it's again. I'll go back to what hiring Ruben Amorim when they know he plays a certain system and not putting Bruno Fernandes in midfield.
But he chose to put Fernandes in midfield.
Exactly.
Do you know?
That's on him.
Let me make a point, right? See the arguments that are going about Manchester United not backing Ruben Amorim. I would love to know, is it that we didn't back him in terms of we didn't give him the support and nourishment that he needed in terms of the board backing his football and philosophy and his talent? Or are we simply talking about financials? Because if we're talking about financials, that's nonsense. He was given a war chest to spend in the summer, and he thought that his only problem was that he didn't have a good enough attack. And you said about the missed chances could have been converted into points. We're talking about a man that spent £230 million improving Manchester United's attack. So we can't really talk to that and say, the chances weren't taken. You bought them, lad. The midfield wasn't good enough and I needed investment. Well, I'll tell you how you could have solved that. You could have realised that Bruno Fernandes is not a central midfielder. You could have left off buying Cunha and Mbeumo and identified one, possibly Mbeumo, and left Cunha off, right? Even though I think Cunha is a fantastic player, but you didn't need him. You could have, instead of alienating Rasmus Højlund, you could have kept Rasmus Højlund as your central striker and not bought Benjamin Sesko. And then you could have spent £140 million on midfielders. So I think it's very, very easy to say, we didn't invest in him, we should have given time, we should have bought him midfielders. And while he was the manager, I made that point here. So I'm not being hypocritical, but to turn around at the end, when you get sacked and say, if you had bought me the midfielders in the summer. No, Ruben, no. You had the chance, you picked 3 strikers, you couldn't get the points, and now you're out the door. It's that it can't be financial. If we're talking about backing as in Wilcox and Barada made it hard from the dressing room, then that's not on. That I get that. I can take that point. If that is the case, if they were toxic towards him, if they started putting pressure on him and didn't support him, then yes, that's fair. But I'm sick hearing, the reason that Ruben Amorim didn't succeed is he didn't get enough money. When did that happen?
I don't know. You see that much crap going about on spending.
I had to deal with too many players being bought. Woe is you.
Oh God!
You get superstars brought in, talents from all over the world added to your squad, and it was really hard to manage. God, that must have been really tough. Like, I just don't get these opinions that managers come out with now. It's so 2026. It just smacks of entitlement.
I don't know. It just doesn't fit me. And then there's all you see all the Amorim wanted Ollie Watkins, and he wasn't given Ollie Watkins, and he wanted an experienced keeper, but he got Lamans. So you're reading all these different things coming out now, and it's just like where do you start?
Forward case, right? And he comes to you after alienating Rasmus Højlund and buying Benjamin Sesko, right? And says to you, we need Ollie Watkins. Would you not turn around and go, get the fuck out of my office?
No, it was Ollie Watkins.
It was Ollie Watkins instead of Sesko.
Instead of Sesko, apparently.
He didn't want Sesko.
That's the...
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Now, was it the Athletic, Jacqueline? I think that I...
Yeah.
Quoted that.
It wasn't Ornstein. Who was it?
Ornstein. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, that's poor. That's true. If he wanted Ollie Watkins and they gave him Sesko, that's the same as Chelsea and Maresca. That was Maresca's argument. Look, I can manage a team, but I can't manage you guys buying the players and telling me what to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what? I get right. That is poor. I can eat that. But whatever happened to just managing the players that you have? Like, why does it have to be the perfect players being bought for you all the time now? Like, whatever happened to a good coach? I think I made the point to you guys, right? And it's a really poor point in terms of Manchester United, but it was being flippant because it was happy the Amorim went, right? Keith Andrews. Keith Andrews lost in Bumo and he lost Visa, right? The whole attack at Brentford went. Thomas Frank is out the door. Keith Andrews is inexperienced. What's he going to do? He buys a big yoke and he sticks him up front and he shows his team the long ball. And how many teams now are copying the long ball tactic because Keith Andrews found a weakness in the Premier League? Whatever happened to just managing the lads that you have in your squad and finding ways to win?
Yes.
He was picking the right personnel as well.
Yeah. I think the Keith Andrews, he didn't really cheat. Like we all know what you're gonna. Everyone knows what they're gonna get when you play that team. You know, the type of the hard work and the attitude and the fight for every ball and the right principles, the very basic principles.
The point I was trying to make is when they had Visa and Ramo, right, they played a more three at the back structure with a more flat four, and they played in behind you and kept knocking the ball in behind you. And Keith Andrews completely lost that and decided, right, we can't do that anymore. So, I mean, flipping Jack Charlton tactics, whip it in the box, put them under pressure, chaos will ensue, the ball will go in. And if you can defend more times than they can defend our long ball tactic, we might just get up the table. And now Keith Andrews is a point behind United. I mean, I'm not saying that's the blueprint. I'm just saying it's an example of taking what you have, not crying about what you don't have, simply working hard and coming up with a way to win. And I don't know why there's the expectancy now every time a manager gets sacked that he wasn't backed financially by the board. Well, why didn't he just go to I don't care if it's a 6 at the back and it wins football games. You would have given yourself time.
So you wouldn't care if United plays line up 6 at the back and just if they win every game.
No, I mean it's not sustainable. But I mean, if you have the full team at the start of the season, right, and you are 6 at the back here and you would get at. You can't do that. It's Man United. If you have the injuries that he had and you've got AFCON and you find a way to beat Newcastle with 6 boys in the back and then you find a way to get past the Villa game with 6 boys in the back, hell yeah.
Yeah. I know, I laugh because now you'd be like, I don't know, a bit off the topic here, but you've Gary Neville, right? He had him or love him, like Marmite. But some of the stuff he says, and like he's getting pulled up in quotes he said from years past, saying, United need to go to a 3 at the back and play Shaw and Dallo wing backs. And then he's saying this week, United need to play 4-4-2, United attacking wing play crosses. So they're contradicting themselves all the time.
He's a flip-flopper.
Yeah, just Sky Sports, United's in the back.
Whatever's in vogue that week.
10 million interviews. Darren Fletcher's must have been interviewed about 10 times already.
Yeah, Darren Fletcher's had to come out. But I think an important thing to anyone watching this is to remember that Gary Neville is paid to do that. So when you're watching the podcast snippets on YouTube and you're watching Gary Neville and you're having either a hate reaction or a like reaction to that, you're feeding into exactly what their agenda is. All they want is eyeballs and clicks and views. Gary Neville's not going to get that if he comes out and supports United, because no one wants to hear that. Everyone wants to hear us be thrashed on a daily basis about how poor we are. Now, some of it I can understand, but Gary Neville is just talking Gary Neville stuff because he knows it works. Carragher's the same. Carragher contradicts himself all the time, and I watched him on the overlap and he was called on it a couple of times and he laughed it off. It's like he can't come out and say it, but they know in the back of their head, they're like, hold on, my guys, I'm being paid to be a pundit here. I won't get on the TV if people don't want to hear what I have to say, and people don't want to hear me praise Liverpool and praise United all the time. They want to hear us be as negative as we can be. Simon Jordan is the only one I think is a beacon of honesty, but even he today came out and said Roy Keane should be the manager, and I was like, why is that?
What?
Oh yeah, Jordan said he could see Roy Keane. He could see Roy Keane through the door.
Oh, they're
I like Roy Keane, but no.
They're calling for him even in the assistant manager or something. Just he might fall. He said he might fall out with.
Oh, he might do it.
Or he might head.
He gets the job.
As Amorim, right? Where do you think it went? What game do you think it went wrong? Leave off the speculation in the media and stuff. Well, can you see it in terms of performances where you think, oh God, the writing's on the wall now? And just to start it off for me, I think it was when I asked you guys in the Newcastle game, and I said,
it was Wolves.
do you remember we were watching Newcastle and I texted you guys and goes, is he trying to drop points here?
That's when he played the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was only trying to make a point to the board.
He took Euro off for Fredrickson.
Yeah.
He changed the midfield around and was looking, going, is this because you played 4 at the back and it's working? You're trying to lose now to prove a point?
I think he was trying to make a point to the media and to the board where the academy kids were concerned.
They're not.
There you go, I played them, they're not good enough.
Yeah.
Yet.
Because that's all he got in the media was, why not play such and such, why not play, the academy and all this here and tradition and all everything. But if they're not ready, they're not ready.
No.
Yeah. What is wrong with just sacking a manager and letting it be that? You sacked the manager because he wasn't good enough. That rags me too. I'm like, Ruben, I feel like I'm stuck in a time warp. Like, I can understand you wanted to give him time because it hurts to change another manager, but tell me this, and honestly answer me, right? Did you see Ruben Amorim winning the Premier League? Based on what you've seen the past couple of months, can you honestly see Ruben Amorim being the man that steers United to the Premier League?
It's hope.
Give him more time.
I can understand the hopium. If it's pure hope and hope it's going to happen, yes. But I think we knew pretty early doors of this season that if he sticks with that 3 at the back, he's going to get rinsed.
Yeah, and then he turns around and says that he will change, but he's not changing because he's been told to change. So is that another thing where he's been told how to manage? There's too many managers at this club.
But I don't see, right? Yes, I get that, right? I get that opinion, Kieran. But what's wrong with that?
Well, it depends.
You should be able to take constructive feedback. And if all the rumours about Jason Wilcox are true, he's his boss. Do you know what I'm saying? He's above him. And Jason Wilcox has said himself, he can't help meddling, that he's a coach at heart, right? But if your boss comes to you and says, Rory, I really don't like the way you're conducting yourself, you don't tell him to F off or blow up in his face. You take constructive criticism. But unfortunately, some people can't.
No, you have to compromise.
They're arrogant and stubborn.
You come to me and you say, Rory, it's not working. People aren't happy in your team. Results aren't where they need to be. I don't care, I'm the manager. Go away.
Yeah, that's the attitude.
You would be sacked. You would be performance.
Yeah, and any other walk of life, you would be sacked. Yes.
But what happens in football, the immediate reaction of everyone around it is, oh God, did you see that the board came down on Ruben Amorim? That's not good. That means the board's interfering. Amorim should have all the power. No.
They're his boss.
No. If they see something going wrong, their job is to go and say, change to the 4 at the back, you maniac. This is not working. You've just lost Ahmed Diallo, a key component in your system. Brian Mbeumo's not here anymore. Adapt or die, dude. Change something. Try and find a way to win. And if he just bullishly persists, withdrawing against Wolves and Leeds, and you've got Man City and stuff on the horizon, and Kieran, you made a brilliant point. The reason I think they changed is they're kicking the ass off the Champions League. Love him. I don't know how he's done it. Like him. I personally didn't like him. But somehow United are still there. It's a chaotic season, right? They didn't pass the eye test for me, so I wanted them gone. It's been a chaotic season in terms of results. If you look at the Premier League now, right, Man City and Arsenal and Aston Villa are clawing away. Everyone else has a chance of getting fourth. It's a scrap. Yeah. It's a rat race now.
There's 4 points, 4 or 5 points between fifth and 15th.
Yeah, and the big hitters are all in the same turmoil that we are. We have the advantage that we've made our decision, I think. So if, and it's mad, and who knows what's going to happen, right? If Liverpool sack Slot, because they're really unhappy with the style of football, which I have to say looks very Eric Ten Hagish to me now, very Dutch football, pass it around, the opposition gives you a chance to try and exploit that chance, right? And I say that to say that Ten Hag went sold Slot. If they get rid of Slot, Liam Rosenwater's in at Chelsea. No one knows how that's going to go. Spurs are in turmoil under Frank. No one knows what's going on. Frank seems to be being dug out the same way that Amorim is. Newcastle, I don't know what's happening there. They can't seem to get onto a steady, consistent run. I mean, they've had awful injuries in their backline and stuff, but it's there. Fun time Ollie comes in and gets a run going, and Manchester United could, mad as it is, end up in the Champions League spots.
Don't stop me with the good vibes. Don't threaten me with a good time, Rory. God.
I seen it today and was like, oh my god, this is surreal. So Ruben Amorim has gone, and Manchester United are considering bringing back. Is it just Ollie or just Carrick, or is it some? Did I read somewhere it's some proposal for a weird hybrid where both people want to help Manchester United and could come back because we need a coaching staff?
I read that they were interviewing them separately. That's what I read. I also read that yes, that hybrid, suggestion.
They were throwing Fletcher into the mix as well. They were saying that Manchester United are trying to, because Ruben Amorim left with 5 coaches.
Yeah, there's no coaches.
There's no coaches.
Johnny Evans is there too.
Johnny Evans could take a step up. I mean, it's mad. Like, imagine some sort of weird scenario where you're looking at the United bench and the people in charge are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Darren Fletcher, Michael Carrick, and Johnny Evans.
Stick them on the field for fuck's sake.
That's right.
Someone put a mock-up, Kieran, of the Manchester United proposed team without injuries today, right? If they were to play the 4-2-3-1, right?
Yeah, I know.
Did you see it? It was Lissandro Lamens, right? And in front of Lamens was Martinez and De Ligt. Luke Shaw was playing left back. Diogo Dalot was playing right back. Holding midfield was Manuel Ugarte and Mason Mount. And playing ahead of them was Bruno Fernandes. And then you had Cunha and Bumo Sesko. And I looked at it and went, if someone could get that playing, that is. I mean, I know they need additions and they need players, but that's top 16.
It's getting them playing. And I think one of the other things that I don't want to get too excited about, but Sesko, we all want Sesko to do well.
Ollie's the man for that.
Ollie might be the man.
Former striker.
Getting the ball in between the 2 posts, not hitting the posts and outside of the posts. That he has been doing the last few weeks, knocking on the door and making chances. And
refresh my memory, didn't Ollie throw the hand around big Lukaku and get him scoring again, get him to enjoy his football?
Yeah, so that didn't Ollie the way he set them up sometimes with Lukaku, he had him out in the right, and he had played Pogba in the right position, and then interlinking with Martial and Rashford, and it just linked up so well, and then they're like a different box. He knew what way to play them off each other. And
the only thing with Ollie is, I remember at the end when I was tearing my hair out going, you just don't have a game plan. There's no system here.
It's messy.
He just picks it. And don't get me wrong, till the end of this season, all we need is someone to pick a team and get some results. But it never struck me under Ollie that we could ever compete for the big trophies. Although I do think Ollie was shit on a bit. I think the Ronaldo decision was a bit mad. It was very nostalgic and feels and crazy, and Jadon Sancho and stuff was rocking about at that stage, and it just didn't strike me as a very It was
And then
talked.
wasn't there rumours that he didn't want Ronaldo back?
Yeah.
He wanted Erling Haaland.
Yeah, that was the board.
Yeah, but City, the board didn't want him to go to City. He was going to go to City, Ronaldo, or something, wasn't he?
Because then the board stepped in and said, "Oh no, that he's not going to City. He's one of ours."
You look at them last. I'm sure you've seen them today. That the 9 results. I think 9 games he lasted in his final before he went. The last 9 games, and then the 4-1 defeat to Watford.
Yeah, apparently the Cristiano Ronaldo signing in the first 6-7 weeks or something like that of him coming back made £40 million in sales. By the time they had their sponsorship contracts and shirt sales and stuff, Ronaldo had made them £40 million. That's the power of Cristiano Ronaldo that Ed Woodward looked at and thought, no way am I letting that go to City.
That was that route. That was that hierarchy of making money commercial signings but I don't.
That's not money they put back in the transfers, Kieran.
Yeah, but one thing I'd say, I know any of us aren't painting themselves in gold here, but at least we know they're not going to go for the commercial money-making shirt sales signings anymore. That's the only thing. Well, from so far as what I can tell,
there's so much in debt that hopefully that cycle will not start up again.
The debt doesn't matter anymore.
We have to live with the debt.
No, the debt will pay for itself.
Good debt.
No, it'll pay for itself now. What they've done is they've brought it down to a corporate structure that turns a profit every year. They reduce staff. Did you see the new set of books that they released? They're finally able to cover debt payments with profit. They're not eking into more debts. They've stabilised, and that's the right way to do it. Jim Ratcliffe's a very shrewd businessman. United won't have that debt in 5 years if Jim stays in charge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a process where you simply pay that debt off in one payment. The first thing was to stem the flow of the bleeding. It was to get the debt where it's slowly reduced itself over certain quarters, and then each fiscal year you pay a portion of it off. That's how to smartly do it. That's what he's doing.
Hence all the redundancies.
It was harsh, and the cutbacks were absolutely brutal. But
you had to trim it back.
They're combating the debt. So, but I mean, Kieran, you made a point there. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, right? Manchester United are a commercial club. They only want to make money. Okay, they pay 12 million to sack a manager who's underperforming. That's a disgrace. We're in debt. Can't be paying that.
But you have to. You have to.
Choose a side. Okay, it was like Mark Goldridge came out in the same post, right? And I do enjoy him to an extent, right? But Mark Goldridge came out in the same point and was like, "Oh, Manchester United are a director of football, and 3 months in, this 10 out of 10 director of football goes out the window." And then he was like criticising the club for the Ruben Amorim decision. I was like, but Dan Ashworth left because he didn't want Ruben Amorim. What are you trying to drive at here? You're just being negative now for the sake of it. You're just calling out every mistake that gets made and just throwing it up. Like, Dan Ashworth didn't believe in Amorim. He's been proven right now. Okay, so Dan Ashworth was correct. That wasn't a mistake on United's part. United recruited the right man. He just couldn't work within the context of Barada and Wilcox, who looks awful. So
doesn't look very good for the Ineos. I'm sure, Jim.
It doesn't look good that they recruited Dan Ashworth and didn't listen to him. No, okay? Dan Ashworth was probably proven right on Ruben Amorim, but it shows a strength of character that they ousted Dan Ashworth because he wouldn't believe in the vision of Barada and Wilcox. And Barada and Wilcox have now been big enough to admit that they were wrong, not give a manager that's not going to work more time for the sake of it and the sake of fan opinion, scythe them out of the football club and are now working towards it. And if they're plugging the gap now for the rest of the season, just do the club a favour and shut up with the toxic nonsense and get behind it.
But isn't that what they do with
toxic nonsense sells, Rory.
Yeah, it does.
Clickbaits.
I think they were thinking at the same time what they done with Ten Hag. They gave him time and gave him 300 million, and that bit them in the ass again.
Was it 300 million he got?
Well, not far off it now.
Yeah, Lissandro Martinez and Matthijs de Ligt are still there, but no other Ten Hag survivees in the first team that I can think of, at least.
Well, Cyril, he called Xerxes a starter.
Should have been sacked and not alone.
Player of the season. Big Zerk by.
Yeah, poor job.
Maybe that month. Oh my God.
He could still become good.
Yeah, very true. Could be. Who knows? So here, the interim position, right? Moving on from the Amorim blowback. What do we think about that? Is that the right call? Should they be trying to oust the manager now to try and get themselves in the Champions League? Are we happy with Ollie? Are we happy with Carrick? If it's just one and not the other, who would you prefer? What's the feelings there?
Caroline, you go first this time.
Thank you, Kieran. Yeah. I prefer Ollie. I mean, Ollie came in at the start of his tenure the last time. Shouldn't have given him the job, but and he did elevate the team. And he did turn things around. And it's only for, anybody that comes in now, the interim manager, you have to say it to them, you're not the guy. We know we've somebody, in place, that we've somebody in mind, but we want you to steer the ship until the end of the season. And Ollie's well respected and well loved, and apparently he's a people person as well. So all those people or all those players have felt ostracised and unwanted. Ollie, the like of me, excuse me. Who else? The like of those lads that thought they would have got their chance. So I think I would go with Ollie. I wouldn't be displeased with Michael Carrick, but I prefer Ollie.
I agree with you. Ollie feels like that. You're just recently single, and that crazy ex of yours that you shouldn't be with, but it's a really good time, is available, and you're like, it's only a short-term one-time thing, so it's not going to last. She doesn't want it to last. You don't want it to last. Let's go, Ollie. If you want to come back in till the end of the season, let's just get the vibes back, because Ollie will get the stadium up behind him, bouncing.
Oh, can you imagine you'll have, if it is him and it isn't confirmed, you'll be over the Brighton game and they'll be walking out in front of you.
Yeah, so we're 3 seats away from the executive box and Ollie would be there watching the game. I'd be buzzing.
Mm-hmm. Good vibes.
Don't threaten
me. Let's hope I don't let myself down.
I mean, for all we've had to suffer, right, as Manchester United fans, Brent O'Hare sent me through I sent it to you yesterday, and it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it just made me, as a United fan, it just made me swell up with pride. It doesn't matter about the money, it doesn't matter about the length of the contract, I just want to help Man United. And this is a guy who we made first team coach, brought in, sacked, gave his emotional farewell to us, went out the door, is a legend of the football club, and he has no regrets.
Well, that's the other reason that I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come back, to give him a proper sending off.
What if he wins the league?
Stop it.
Jesus Christ, Roy, stop. And then they'll give him a contract for 5 years.
No, right, Manchester United, if they can get into this sort of form, do you remember when Ollie came back, right? United were in a worse position, guys. And I think, if I remember correctly, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't the reason he was given the job, if he had been in charge from the start of the season and United were in that form, that they could have won the league.
He finished second with them, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Didn't he finish second, Kieran? Didn't he get right up there? Right?
United finished on, I can't remember the numbers. Was it 80, was it 74 points and City were on 86?
Yeah, right. United aren't the worst team. So if he goes on a run, right, other teams compete in the Champions League and the Europa League, he could get up there. If he can do what he did the last time, I'm talking nonsense, right? I'm talking pure hopium nonsense now, okay? But,
oh my God, welcome to the dark side.
But Rory, you've always been right about these managers. I hope you're right about this one.
No, you want my head decision, Kieran? It'll fall on his face. They'll not respect him. It'll be a Ranić position. When he came in the first time, it was all fields and stuff, but he's going to be coming back into players that he managed before, players that seen him get the sack. It's not going to have the same respect levels as it did previously. And I don't think, I'm trying to be hopeful for the sake of the podcast, I don't think this is going to work if it's Ollie. I think he will get a certain bounce and then fall flat.
That's the fear.
I don't know.
That's the fear.
I just think you have the Amorim hopefuls in the squad. You've got the ex-Ten Hag men. I don't know. I don't think it'll have the same impact as it did the last time. I think amongst the fans it will. I think it's going to be a very popular decision. We all love him. He's hard not to love.
Yeah.
I don't mean we all like him. We love him. He is part of, when you talk about United's DNA, he is part of United's DNA, part of our history.
That's the thing as well. Like, if you come into a team and the players that came around at the time, some of them are still there. Now, don't get me wrong, the players that are there, we've brought in Cunha and Buemo. What's to say they'll not love him?
I think
he's that type of, he's an attack. Obviously, he knows the attack, and he's an attacking player himself, and he suits. Maybe he'll help Sesko and the young players, and he worked with a young Haaland before and molded it. I don't think. I know what you're saying about the respect thing, because he's been sacked and everything now, but it is the fear in the back of logically, if every Man United fan sits and thinks about it, and the run that he was on before he got the sack, and the history of attitudes in the squad. Now, we spoke earlier on about Amorim getting rid of some of them faces and maybe more harmonious and fighting dressing room, which might work in Ollie's favour for the remainder of the season, and that's what we'll all hope for. But I just think we'll get a bounce and we'll keep it going to the end of the season.
Hopefully.
Making use of
I mean, we're very Ollie-centric here. What if Darren Fletcher performs tonight and ends up getting it? Darren Fletcher, did anyone watch Alex Ferguson talking about Darren Fletcher as a coach? Mm-hmm. Darren Fletcher's another one where I'll feel a twang of pride. I was saying to Mum earlier, Kieran, I would love, and I know this is going to go out after the Burnley game, I would love United to be 2-0 up and in the last 10 minutes to see Jack Fletcher strip off and come on under his dad for Manchester. I just think that would be such a lovely moment.
Both of them.
The Burnley Stadium, those Turf Moor and stuff like that, but I think everyone in that stadium will look at that and go, like, people forget that Darren Fletcher's career almost got taken away from him with that disease that he had. And he fought back and played for Manchester United, won the Premier League with Manchester United. Now he's managing his son tonight. I'd be shocked if there's not a very emotional Darren Fletcher there this evening.
Yeah, I think he still has the. Does he have the? Is he confirmed to be manager for the Brighton game, the FA Cup at Old Trafford?
So I'm not sure, but I heard on TalkSport this morning that everyone was talking about the interim coach being in charge for the City game. No one mentioned Brighton.
There was talk about the Brighton game as well, though.
Was there? What I heard is that they didn't want to distract away from Darren Fletcher's match tonight with Burnley. That was the priority. Making the decision on Ruben Amorim, they weren't going to steer away from the Burnley game. They don't want to treat the Burnley game as if it doesn't exist. So all the focus has been on supporting Darren Fletcher tonight, trying to get a win against Burnley, and then they're going to tackle interim decisions tomorrow. So it also shows what they're thinking. I think like the FA Cup isn't as high up their agenda list, we'll say, as finishing Champions League spots this year, which they have come out and said they believe is possible. So they need to get this right.
Yeah. No, it is pressure. It is pressure on them now at this stage, given they stuck with Ten Hag for longer than they should have, and then they have their pick, Amorim, now out the door, and Dan Ashworth out the door. I know it shows, like you said, a bit of courage to, realise your mistakes and cut it off and try again. Success is failure repeated.
Oh, I like that. That was deep.
That is a good tune.
You can coin that one. Anyway.
Wow. Philosophy on the go here. Young fucking soccer team himself.
But I'm sick of failing, guys.
No, I get you. I mean, United aren't going to be in the wilderness forever. Someone will get it right. I hate this. Oh, that's the end of the club, and we're in the dark ages now. I do think that this next appointment is critical between us being in the mid of the table for the next 5-10 years or bouncing back. Because I think when you take the 3-4-3 out of it and you don't have to think in those terms, there was like a wee storm cloud went away from me, and I thought, that team that I'm looking at is good. Martinez, De Ligt, Lamon's behind them, Luke Shaw back in the left back, Diogo Dalot is a bomb scare, but okay, we'll suffer that. Brian and Mbeumo could possibly help him out. You've got Ugarte could hold midfield for a Kobe Mainoo or a Mason Mount. In big tough games you could put Casemiro in there and have two holding midfielders. Everything should go through Bruno Fernandes, irregardless of how I feel about him. He's a baller. He is United's best player by far. He should be sat in the middle of the field with everything feeding through him. A bit like the total football model. You win the ball to give it to Fernandes, who then dictates what we're going to do with it. And just support Sesko. More balls into the box.
Yeah.
Trying to get the ball to him earlier. Trying to isolate off them. Mm-hmm. No more slow, predictable, let them get back in set and fucking then have a wee go at it. Just go. Ollie ball. Go at them. Free flow. Chaos. Go at them. You'll have to watch.
Oh, well, very interesting tonight to see as well what way Fletcher sets up.
Yeah.
3-4-3.
What do you know?
4-4-2.
That's not going to be 3-4-3.
He'll have the twins playing centre midfield. Taylor Frederickson will be playing centre back. Bayender will be doing nets. Joshua Sarksy up front. Fletcher will go 4-4-2 tonight.
Just classic 4-4-2.
Why not?
Harry Maguire's back.
No.
Not minutes wise. Harry's back on the pitch, on the grass. Sorry, Cameron, he's not back. Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount are back, but we don't know if they'll start. I'm expecting him to go 4-4-2. I think either Mount or Bruno will start in midfield with Casemiro. I think he'll have two flat wing backs in Dorgu and Cunha, and I think he'll put the fridge up front with Sesko.
They say he's not going to give them 90. He's just managing their minutes, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount could interlink. Maybe one will get 45 minutes and the other will get the second half. I think they might work it that way.
Yeah. I'd see Maguire. I think 4-2-3-1.
You think so? It's a complicated system for a novice.
Well, Jacqueline, you watch a lot of the youth setups and the youth teams. Do you know what system he plays with for the under 18s?
4-2-3-1, I think.
Does he?
Mm.
I just thought he played in a 4-4-2, and it's what he'd be used to.
Well,
No, I think there's 4 at the back, 2 holding midfielders,
2 holding,
3
2 wingers, a 10 and a striker.
Striker, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
As far as I know, as far as I can remember.
There's only one thing. I think the only thing I would be hoping for tonight is just attacking and entertaining.
Entertaining. That's what I want.
Just go for it and just stand on
and a
his neck.
steady back line.
Yeah, Mum, you're right.
Isn't it 4-2-3-1?
4-2-3-1. He's a counter-attacking manager that tries to use wingers to get the team off the pitch. So expect width tonight. And Benjamin Sesko hopefully getting crosses into the box. To that then, I would think, right, if we're going 4-2-3-1, let's try and do this together. Lamans does nets, yeah?
Yeah.
I think I have the team in front of me, guys.
Already?
Team in front of you?
I think. 4 minutes ago. Unless it's... Lamans,
You're right, yeah.
Lamans, Dallo, Heaven, Martinez, Shaw, Ugarte, Casemiro, Fernandes, Dorgu, Cunha, Sesko.
Where are you getting this?
It's on X, the United Zone.
I know it's random for a podcast, but Kevin Keegan just came out as diagnosed with cancer. That's terrible.
Oh God.
Poor Kevin. I always remember that rivalry between him and Alex Ferguson. It was pure gold.
Oh, it was magic.
Magic to watch.
No, you're right, yeah. That's what I've got.
Oh, you've got, yeah.
Okay, so run this by me again. The back line is Martinez and Heaven are playing centre back. Luke Shaw is left back. Who's the right back? Dallo,
yeah.
Who is Casemiro and Ugarte on?
Casemiro and Ugarte are the holding mid.
Yeah.
Cunha left. Fernandes central. Dorgu right. And
Central.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's playing 5 at the back, folks.
Remember
that 2 ways. He could be playing 5 at the back, and Luke Shaw could be the left centre back, and Dorgu could be the left back. Dallo would be your right back, 2 holding midfielders. Cunha, Sesko, Fernandes.
He's with the squad too.
Hey?
I haven't seen the bench now, but
Yes,
I really hope I'm wrong.
The bench. Oh, Harry Maguire is on the bench.
Is Mount a main?
Maguire, Yarrow, Malacia, Fletcher, Manu, Mount, Xerxes, and Lacey.
Manu and Mount are back. Look,
Yeah.
it's a bit suspect that nobody's injured now that Ruben Amorim is fucked off.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it just, yeah. Manu and Mount are back.
That's
suspect, that is. That's like Darren Fletcher walking into him and go, right, who's actually injured and who's fit? I'm fit. I've been faking this whole time. I just can't stop playing for him.
I'm sick of the three at the back.
Yeah, I think I want to go out and play 90 minutes against Burnley, passing the ball along to the back line. Not a chance. Trying to break
the lads are
Burnley.
just back from Lourdes.
Okay, so Manchester United are missing the AFCON players, and that's that. Matthijs de Ligt.
Matthijs de Ligt.
Yeah. Still with the back issue.
So whoever interim coach is has a full team.
Well,
near enough, except the AFCON players.
Not fully fit, but have available, more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Harry Maguire is back in there. No disrespect to Ian Heaven, but he's a left-footed centre back. You would be hoping De Ligt and Maguire would get themselves fit, come back into that back line. It just means if you play four at the back, we're very defender heavy now, aren't we?
But I think Ian Heaven's been really good this past couple of games, Rory.
He's good progress, and he runs.
Yeah.
Same Martinez is kind of the same.
Amateur's mistake against Leeds.
Oh, he did, yeah.
He's only a lad, though. Of course he will, but he's been really good, I thought.
He's been brilliant, Mum. He has been really, really good. I'm not taking it away from him. But if you were presented with the options of Harry Maguire, Matthijs de Ligt, Aidan Heaven, and Alessandro Martinez, who would your back to be?
Well, that's definitely
Matthijs de Ligt and Martins.
And if Matthijs de Ligt was injured, would you not replace him with Harry Maguire because you'd be worried about the aerial threat?
The form that it's been in when he's been playing this season has been unreal.
Yeah,
and you go back into a back four, and the two boys have Luke Shaw out and left back. I can't remember the last time I seen Martinez and de Ligt play with Shaw. They've all been injured at different times.
Yeah, very true. And can Shaw can still play left back? He's been playing centre back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Getting legs, but he seems
playing left centre back. Yeah.
But I've seen him. I noticed it was the Leeds game there in the last game. He was trying to do a lot more, even though he was playing that left centre back. He was still trying to run up and do the overlap as if he was a left back. And create.
I have Shaw playing on the match tonight if he's playing left back. I think it's long overdue with Benjamin Sesko in the team that Luke Shaw plays left back. Best crosser of the ball in the team, Luke Shaw. When he does that drive and he hits that low cross from deep. Not when he hits the byline, he's crossing to average mid. But see when he plays that burst and he gets to he's almost looking at the attacking box and he whips a ball. Yeah. Sesko not feel that. Sesko just be off and waiting on this for weeks.
So I think Sesko needs a game with a couple of goals, I think.
Yeah.
Manchester United need to play for our striker instead of giving him half chances through a game and eating him alive when he can't flip and score them. I'm so sick of Højlund's a bad striker, Sesko's a bad striker. Højlund is making a name for himself in Italy. If Sesko does the same crap at United and then goes on, he will make a name for himself elsewhere. They're not bad players, we're a shit team. It's that simple. You can't keep going through strikers who are multi-talented players and then
not feeding them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're bad players. Not.
Oh.
Right. So, predictions for the Burnley game. I'm going to go 4-0 for United.
What do you say?
4-0.
4-0. Oh.
4-0.
3-1.
Burnley won't score.
I go 3-0.
Think so?
Yeah. Positive vibes. I think Cunha's been in very good assistant and goal scoring form. And I think if they're playing the forward back and the attacking system will suit the free flow and the Cunha's vibe drifting in them spaces. And Sesko will finally break his duck. In the last few games, he'll get that goal tonight, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Burnley will score. I think Manuel Ugarte will be told that he has to sit in front of the back two and break play down. Casemiro will be allowed to progress with the ball up to link with Bruno Fernandes. But I think Ugarte will be told tonight, no long to mid-range passing. Get the ball, lay the ball off, go back into that road. Just sit there and protect that back line. Because if he sits centrally, then you can do a 3 at the back when you're trying to protect against the break. You go forward with everyone, put your fullbacks up, and leave Ugarte there. Martinez and Heaven come across, protect a 3, and then everybody comes back into shape once you stop Burnley breaking through. Burnley are slow, leggy.
Haven't watched them much this season.
Yeah,
They're not-
and I think as well, is Mount on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
money.
I'd say he'll probably come off for Bruno to be a swap there to manage the minutes, if that's what he was alluding to, I think, in the press conference, that he's managing the minutes. So if Bruno's starting, I think Mount will.
I could be right. Just yeah, he's only back from injury. Like,
Yeah.
For all the grief I give Bruno Fernandes, fair play for coming back from injury, declaring himself fit and stepping out as captain tonight in what is going to be a tough game. And I think Darren Fletcher said that Bruno Fernandes has been brilliant with him this week. There is a sounding board there to talk and lead through the team, helping the boys through training sessions and stuff, and standing by Darren Fletcher. So I really don't like Bruno Fernandes as a person. As a player, he's phenomenal, but fair play, I have to give credit where it's due. He's been very good this week. Very good. I mean, and we all know he was an Amorim boy, so shows maturity, leadership, fair play.
Well,
Still a rat.
go on and go on. Roy still wants him out.
Yep. Not start. I got my wish with Amorim. Don't start me on Fernandes. This is a happy weekend. Okay. Folks, I am buzzing for the match tonight. I'm a massive Darren Fletcher fan. Huge Darren Fletcher fan. He's given everything for the club through literally in sickness and health. So I really hope for his sake tonight he just gets, even if it's one game, he just gets an electric performance and a brilliant result.
yeah. As do we all.
Good midweek vibes.
Yeah,
Big vibes.
go on with Fletch. He's won it all with us. Now beat Burnley, lad. You've got this. Right, folks, enjoy the match. See you next week.
Bye, folks.
Bye.